Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite, and today we're going to be taking a look at the updated version of one of my favorite accessories for my Panasonic GH5, the DXA Micro Pro Plus from Beachtek. Now, I reviewed this adapter a few months ago on the channel, and a lot of the things about that adapter have not changed. So if you want to go into the details and hear a lot of how the sound quality is and things of that nature, I'll leave a link in the iCard up above for you guys to check it out. However, the new version does have some improvements that I really like, and I feel like if you don't have one, or if you've been on the fence about getting this adapter for a little while, this might be what puts you over the edge. But let's talk about those features and let's see if it's worth your money. Before we begin, I want to say thank you to Beachtek for sending this adapter out to me to take a look at. However, all opinions once again are my own. And here they are right next to each other, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot different. The only way that you can tell the difference is one, the now included cheese plate, which is removable, or the branding on the front. You have a little plus on the plus side here. The real difference you see is actually when you turn it around. So as you can see on the original version, you had this battery door and it was powered by 9 volts. Now, while the idea is really good, because technically if you run out of battery, you could just throw a 9 volt in there. The only problem with this is one, I just cannot stand 9 volt batteries. They're the most inconvenient battery because they only go in very specific things, and it's not like you just have 9 volts lying around the house. So it required many trips to the store once it died, because on the original DXA Micro Pro, that battery would die after 3 hours. And I cannot tell you how many times I left my Beachtek adapter on and just came back to it being dead. Now, when you turn the new adapter around, you now have a micro USB port here. And this does two things. One, it charges the now onboard battery. And two, you can actually plug it into an external power source and power it externally. Both of these things are amazing. One, because the battery now lasts 10 hours, which is plenty of wireless time for me. I can sit in front of this camera, get 2-3 videos done without the battery dying. Even if I leave the battery on, I don't have the fear of it not having juice the next time I turn it on. And two, say you're on a production set, you can actually plug it into an external battery source and run it indefinitely. So no worrying about batteries at all. And honestly, that feature is also cool because even if you're not, say, in a production environment, say you do run out of that 10-hour battery life, you just plug it in and you can continue shooting without having to take a break or run to the store to swap in another 9 volt battery, which is awesome. And that about does it for the improvements over the original. They are much needed improvements, and it's definitely something that I personally like over the other model. But there is a little bit of a price difference, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Before we do that though, let's actually run a couple of tests just to see if they might have done anything internally with the adapter improved over the previous model that they're just not advertising. First, this is going to be a test of the new DXA Micro Pro. Let's go ahead and boost the noise in post-production and see if we hear any background hiss. And now, mostly because I'm feeling lazy, I plugged it in while still keeping the adapter mounted to the new one. So now I actually can kind of see it in action here, which is kind of cool. So this is the regular DXA Micro. As you can see, I have it a few notches from the bottom. It is slightly, like I said, it has 1 or 2 more notches than the new version. Let me focus back up here. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and boost the noise floor of the original adapter to see what it sounds like. And now this is a test with the new adapter, just me talking into my NTG4 Plus, which is about right here. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. And here is a test of the NTG4 Plus going into the original Beachtek adapter. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now, I don't know if it's maybe how it's powering internally now, or maybe they might have tweaked the gain, but I am noticing that I can keep the gain 1 or 2 notches lower than I could on the previous model, which is good because even if the preamps aren't actually improved, not having to boost that gain as much will also keep you from hearing that background noise, which is nice. And this is camera audio for reference. Also, because I feel like getting a little weird with it, let's actually check this out. I don't know if this is going to work, so this is going to be the first time I run this test. But, Jesus, come on, light. Bump up that ISO. I actually stacked both Beachtek adapters on top of each other, and I'm going to try and run 2 XLR sources into both adapters and mix it into the same signal. So we can see if we could technically, if you have 2, not saying to buy 2, but if you have 2 of the adapters, if you could technically run 2 XLR sources, even though each adapter only has 1 XLR port. Let's go ahead and run that test now. So this ended up being so complicated that I ended up having to throw on headphones in order to monitor the sound. So, but I think I got it working, but we'll find out in post if it's working. So this is going to be our right channel, and that is going to be our left channel. So let's run it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. So in a sense, we have 2 XLR inputs going into the camera using 2 DXA Micro Pro adapters, 1 plus, 1 regular. It's extremely impractical and something I would not recommend doing, but it's fun to know that you can do it. All right, but wacky tests and rechargeable batteries aside, is it worth your money? Well, as I mentioned in the previous review of the regular Micro Pro, it is the single greatest accessory I ever bought for my GH5, except for maybe my Voigtlander lenses. I cannot tell you how easy an adapter like this makes making YouTube videos. It's just incredible. If you are in the market though, that's where it gets a little tricky because there's about a $70 increase for the Micro Pro Plus versus the regular version. And with that increase in price, you get the rechargeable 10-hour battery, as well as being able to run off an external source. You do also get that cheese plate, and as well as, I believe, slightly improved gain. But it gets a little tricky. It really depends on what your preferences are. So if you are brand new to the market and you're looking for an adapter and you don't mind paying the cost, I would go for the Pro Plus just because those battery features are a lifesaver. I cannot tell you how annoying it is to change out a 9-volt battery every 3 hours. But if you already have a Micro Pro and you're looking to upgrade, honestly, unless you really need those extra features, you can probably skip out. Because you're still getting pretty good audio quality, pretty much the exact same audio quality between the two. I'll leave links in the description down below for both of them for you guys to check out. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button down below. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about what we talked about today, feel free to ask it in the comment section down below or on Twitter at Screenbite. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.